Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother and Dad. Love, Ruth, John, Mark, Pamela, Patricia, and Peter. 1963, Part 138. Today's episode is based on the original publication, Small Shaw Family Memories Collection, or SFMC, number 57, published on December 25th, 2000. Letter to the editor of the SFMC. By yours truly, Peter J. Ray. Hi, everybody, and Merry Christmas. Shall we forego the hype at this time? Let's just simply quote Jackie Gleason from The Honeymooners. And away we go. Here are memorable excerpts from this incredible issue. Shar told me tonight that she took my advice and has been going to bed early and not worrying about anything. If only I can take my own advice. Mark is going to the 5th and 6th grade classes to recite the Gettysburg Address. He knows it by heart. Regarding the Indian Rocks, Florida vacation. We certainly had a wonderful vacation, just heavenly. We hope to be able to do it every spring, maybe 3 weeks next year, John says. The weather was just delightful, and to step out every morning onto the beach and surf and hear the sound of the waves breaking all night, the rhythmic beat of God's presence. Peter broke off his front tooth. He fell down the back steps to the cement. Mark is thrilled. He made the Little League. He hit a ball to the fence and was the best catcher in the practice session. This has really been Mark's week. He made the Little League team, hit a ball to the fence, and was the best catcher. He won the spelling for his class and went on to compete against the other 4th and 5th and 6th graders and beat them. So now he is the representative of Kensington School against the other schools. Mrs. Vogler brought Peter a great big juicy cherry pie. On the way home from church, the mother-daughter banquet smorgasbord, Pamela said, "I feel sorry for your mother. She never gets to see us." I explained that you had two little granddaughters there. Pamela says she wants to live just 2 blocks away when she has children, so they can visit me after school. Her best friend's grandmother lives nearby and was at the Brownie tea. Mark's teacher said that Mark is in the 99th percentile of the children in Rocky River, top 1%, and Rocky River is supposed to be above average. Pamela said the other day, "There is absolutely nothing in this world I want that I don't have, except maybe to fly." Take care, everybody. Very truly yours, Peter J. Ray. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, February 20th, 1963. Dear Mother, Valentine's Day seemed more like Christmas around here than anything. John said he never saw such preparation for it. Of course, the girls started making valentines a month in advance, and each of the children sent about 40 valentines to classmates and friends. Your parcel arrived, and John gave me a box like he sent you because he thought I might like to see what he sent you, and a lovely card. Valentine's morning, Mrs. Vogler brought each of the children a $25 savings bond. John gave them each a chocolate heart. Lorraine Caesar sent me a beautiful red tulip plant with 4 lovely blooms. I had her 2 girls for a few days when she was in the hospital. Patty and Peter and I baked all day. We made chocolate cupcakes with pink icing. Patty decorated them for Mark's class since I'm room mother. We also made red punch, and Peter and I went to his room for his party. After helping with that, we went to Mrs. Diamond's with some of the cupcakes and a box of candy. Then we made a chocolate heart cake with pink icing, and I took it to Char's. She had a bad fall last week. Then we made a heart-shaped chocolate layer cake with pink icing for our supper. Mark and his friend shoveled 3 driveways, and Mark brought me a box of chocolates and John's cigars with his earnings. He was so proud, and we were too. It was quite a thrill, for he usually saves his money. He has $250 saved for college, so it was a very happy time. Peter had a bad fall Sunday morning in our bedroom. John took him to the emergency ward, and he had 4 stitches in his chin. We enjoyed the play Friday and dinner party Saturday evening. This morning, Peter and I went to a PTA meeting, and tomorrow I paint the house of the nursery school. Good night. Love, Ruth. P.S. John's partners and wives have been to Mexico. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, March 6, 1963. Dear Mother, it certainly has been a cold winter and more snow than I can ever remember here, but we do feel it's more healthful this way. Seems to have killed the germs, for we've all been so much better, especially Mark. He seems to have thrived on it and earned so much shoveling snow in driveways. He has turned in $6.25 to the Y and much more saved. He now has a big box of various boxes of greeting cards that he has to sell. Pamela and Patty feel so sorry for him that they want to buy some. He sent one of those get-rich-quick answers to an ad. Today our board meeting was at Ann's, and very nice. Peter and Patty played there, then Patty and Johnny went to a class at the Nature Center. Last Friday, Shar and Don took us to a comic opera at the Music Institute by the Oberlin Players, and then we had champagne at their house. Saturday was our board's dinner dance at the Aquamarine Club, lovely swimming pool and bathing suit style show. John bought me a lovely bathing hat. So pretty, I think I'll wear it to church for Easter. Yellow and orange nylon. Tomorrow Ann is taking me to a luncheon. I'm teaching Sunday school this month. Mrs. Vogler had the flu. The cobalt has helped Mrs. Diamond. Good night. Love, Ruth. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, March 19, 1963. Dear Mother, I was so glad to get your letter today and hear that you've just been busy and not sick. It certainly is easy to get wound up in many activities. I just returned from an installation dinner meeting at Shar's. She's feeling better. Told me tonight that she took my advice and has been going to bed early and not worrying about anything. If only I can take my own advice. She said that they were going to ask the past presidents to stand up at the dinner and give a testimonial of what being the president had done for them. I told them I'd say it nearly gave me a nervous breakdown, and then they said to say how much I had learned from it, and I said I'd learned to say no. Of course, they thought it hilarious, but think they might skip my testimonial. 5 minutes later, the telephone rang, and they asked me to be vice president of the nursery school. I'm trustee, and 2 years ago, they asked me to be president. So I had to follow my own advice and say no. It's always a temptation to say yes, but I felt so much better this year. Teaching Patty's Sunday school, not Peter. Mark is going to the 5th and 6th grade classes to recite the Gettysburg Address. He knows it by heart. Love, Ruth. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, March 18, 1963. Dear Mother and Dad, thank you for the picture. Cute. I just returned from our first cottage meeting on the first of the Beatitudes. John is leader of one Thursday and next week. Haven't heard from you for some time, and I wondered if you got the flu or a cold from all your activity out in the cold on the election. Certainly hope not. We're so glad that we had the flu shots, for there has been so much around, and we had very faint symptoms last week, so might have had it if we hadn't had the shots. We would like to go to Florida for the Easter vacation again. John is seeing about it. Maybe you could join us down there. It was so wonderful last year to go to the warm weather about this time. Hope we can get to the Stevens home on the Gulf. We played bridge with Beth Shelley's parents and the Shelleys last week. They are down from Canada to look after the children, and Beth and Mike flew to the Caribbean. Antigua Island for a week. You played bridge here with Beth. Pam and Patty went to the San Francisco Ballet Sunday, and Pam to the high school play Saturday night with a little friend. I enjoyed the Home and Flower Show and teaching Sunday school and painting the playhouse at nursery school. Love, Ruth. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, March 20th, 1963. Dear Mother, we are trying to make plans to fly to Florida next Friday the 29th. Since the Stevens place is taken, we are trying to rent another home on the Gulf. We want to get one with linens and maid service. We also have to make plane reservations, which are filled quickly to Florida at this time of year, and we have to get permission to take the children out of school early. If we can get it all arranged, we'd love to have you both fly down and enjoy some sun and the Gulf of Mexico with us. I'd like to be able to enclose a check for $300 for your plane fare, but we expect this to cost $900 to $1,000 for our family. Peter is half fare now, and the home is rent for $125 a week, and the Hertz car rental. But if you think you could arrange your vacation, we'd love to see you. Maybe you could return via Cleveland. Hope we can work it. Last year it was heavenly. Good night. Love, Ruth and John. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, March 24th, 1963. Dear Mother and Dad, to the St. Petersburg Clearwater, Florida airport. Yesterday, John sent a deposit on a house for the first 2 weeks in April at Indian Rocks Beach. It was a large house with 4 bedrooms, each with twin beds. Since we need only 6, we'll have 2 extra beds so that if you decide you'd like to fly to Florida for a vacation, we'd be glad to have you come. We plan to fly down Saturday. Miss Jones, the principal, said that Mark and Pam are both good students so that they can get out of school a week early. I taught Sunday school this morning. It was open house, so the parents came in to observe. One mother said, "Why, this looks like fun. I think I could do this." It is a cute class, 16 there today, 5-year-olds. There usually are 16 to 20, but good. The teacher will be back from England, but they've asked me to teach in May again for May since she's expecting a baby. Tomorrow I hope to finish painting the house at school. It's been fun. I've painted a pear tree, cherry tree, rooster, bunny, candy cane tree, and so forth. Today was 70 degrees, so we were out gardening and had the Shelley children over, so the grandma had a 3-hour nap. If you want to reach us, Nancy Hauer, Inc., 202 North Gulf Boulevard, Indian Rocks, Florida. Attention, Miss Reap. Love, Ruth. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, April 18th, 1963. Dear Mother and Dad, we certainly had a wonderful vacation, just heavenly. We hope to be able to do it every spring, maybe 3 weeks next year, John says. The weather was just delightful, and to step out every morning onto the beach and surf and hear the sound of the waves breaking all night, the rhythmic beat of God's presence. It was truly refreshing. The Whiteses were down and stayed near us. We drove over to Marineland and St. Augustine, Florida, and visited the Dunhams and Palms and flew back in 2.5 hours by jet from Jacksonville. We got up at 6:30 a.m. Easter morning and all went to 8 o'clock a.m. communion and then to Sandusky, Ohio for a lovely Easter dinner, an Easter egg hunt, and supper. I wore my fancy new bathing cap for an Easter bonnet to church. I planned to wear it to luncheons. John's mother said it looked like a $25 hat. Busy week. John's desk piled high, and I had 12 sheets plus all and drove the nursery group to the fire station, children to the nature center, art class this morning with Shar and Anne, painted forsythia. Mrs. Vogler did a lot of my ironing. She said she would have liked to have gone to Florida with us if she'd known. I just returned from the Rocky River Juniors Dessert Bridge with Shar. My crocuses and daffodils are blooming. I've been talking all day. Aunt Mary is worse. She got the tea bags for you. Mrs. Diamond sleeps on a cot in the dining room at night now. Peter broke off his front tooth. He fell down the back steps to the cement. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pamela, Patty, and Peter. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, Sunday, April 1963. Dear Mother and Dad, I thought you might like to see some of our pictures from our trip to Florida. Of course, we took movies and slides too. You may keep a few of these if you like, the ones you like best, and send the rest back. It's lovely here when we've been out gardening and John washed the garage, but the weather still isn't as warm as it was in Florida. Mark is so thrilled. He made the Little League baseball team. He hit a ball to the fence and was the best catcher in the practice session. We are so surprised, for we never thought he would be so interested in baseball. Poor Peter looks a little scraggle-toothed now that he broke off his front tooth. You know he has painted eye teeth like me. One is so bad it's bent back and almost behind his front tooth, and now this. Poor baby. Just a few more days and our dogwood flowers will be out. The children went to the school carnival yesterday. Patty won a lovely cake, and they won 2 turtles. The daffodils are out and lovely now. John bought Patty a new bicycle yesterday. Good night. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pamela, Patty, and Peter. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, April 28, 1963. Dear Mother and Dad, the Easter eggs arrived yesterday, and the children were so glad. It was even better that they were late, for there was so much excitement at Easter, arriving home from Florida, and Easter at Sandusky. Joan made baskets out of sugar, molded and decorated the prettiest eggs. They were real works of art. She also made some of those eggs that you look into and have scenes, flowers inside, all made out of tinted sugar. She learned it all from a cake decorating class. She decorated beautiful things, lots of patience. Pamela and Patty have the mumps, so we're especially glad when your parcel arrived. They were very good, but it was nice to have something exciting happen. We feel now that Peter had them when we were in Florida, thought it was a swollen gland for a few days. This has really been Mark's week. He made the Little League baseball team. He hit a ball to the fence and was the best catcher. He won the spelling for his class and went on to compete against the other 4th and 5th and 6th graders and beat them. So now he is the representative for Kensington School against the other schools. Also received his grade in the California reading test, and he scored 10th grade reading level, by far the highest in his class, the 4th grade. So we're very proud of Mark. I have several luncheons coming up, the Science Center Women's Board, and Anna's taking me to the champagne luncheon you went to when you were here. Also have one at the Westwood Country Club, Rocky River Juniors. Tomorrow night, John is taking me to the World Federalist Dinner at Gwynn, the Mather Estate. I've begun my painting classes Thursday mornings. Mrs. Vogler brought Peter a great big juicy cherry pie. Good night. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pamela, Patty, and Peter. P.S. The dogwood are coming out now. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, May 17, 1963. Dear Mother and Dad, we just returned from the Church Federation annual meeting, and it was so inspiring. John was called upon almost immediately after dinner. He's finance chairman. They recently received $25,000 from a will in Mississippi. About 600 people were there, and the talk was about the church in Russia. The offertory went to send books to Liberia in West Africa. Peter's birthday was at 12 o'clock last Saturday, and your parcel arrived at 10 minutes to 12. Certainly good timing. Thank you for it. Mrs. Vogler eyed the chocolate. She'd brought Peter's cake with a doggy on it and stayed for the party. It was certainly another milestone. Our baby boy is 3 years old. He's just wonderful. Patty attended 3 birthday parties last weekend, and Pamela one today. Mark had 4 Little League baseball practices and a game Saturday. Mark has some artwork in the junior May show. I bought gifts for the Brownie leaders and attended their tea and went to a luncheon across the street yesterday. Took the girls to a mother-daughter smorgasbord and style show at church with Marilyn Garrett and her daughter. The girls were so sweet and enjoyed it so much. I had 17 children in Sunday school last Sunday. We made Mother's Day baskets and put in flowers. Had a movie of the little lost lamb in the 23rd Psalm. In painting class today, Marion Bryson said my painting showed great sensitivity and took it to show the rest of the class. You may have wondered about the girls' letters. Pamela is so thrilled with her bracelet. It is far more expensive than the one I got her. I got the maple leaf disc in Niagara Falls for $1. She does appreciate it, and we're sorry it was so expensive. We've been planning on many things and inviting many people over. Plan to have a dinner party for our minister and his wife. John's folks are coming to dinner Sunday. Ann White's is having a dinner party next Saturday and having Canadians. Patty asked, "Why don't you ever invite your mother over?" Hence her letter to you. I asked if she would like to ask my father too. She frowned a little and said, "Oh yes, I remember him. He's the one that brings us all the presents, Uncle Bud." I wondered what Bud would think if he knew he were taken from my father. Tomorrow I have my new tooth put in, had a filling removed and an inlay put in tomorrow, also $135. Uncle Lloyd is coming east at the end of June, and Chris invited us to go to Stratford with them July 4th. We think John's folks might be interested also. We're looking forward to Bud's visit, wish he'd bring his family to stay with us too. We bought a balloon blower pump so he won't have to blow balloons. We have the porch furniture out. John painted the floor. It's certainly a lovely time of year. We have pansies around my tree in front. Good night. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pamela, Patty, and Peter. P.S. On the way home from church, the mother-daughter banquet smorgasbord, Pamela said, "I feel sorry for your mother. She never gets to see us." I explained that you had 2 little granddaughters there. Pamela says she wants to live just 2 blocks away when she has children so they can visit me after school. Her best friend's grandmother lives nearby and was at the Brownie tea. Pamela gave the welcome to the mothers. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, May 28, 1963. Dear Mother and Dad, I was so sorry to hear that your Mother's Day gift and card were late. I thought the veil hat would go well with your suit, but had hoped to match the sweater with a skirt, so we'll try to. It's a very good sweater, so hope that you can wear it. We've had such a round of activities that we can scarcely keep things straight. John's folks were over for John's birthday dinner. I took 22 deaf children out to the nature center. I had my painting, critique, and luncheon. She said that I see very well and that my washes are as good as those ready for shows. I had another luncheon that day at the country club, and that evening we went downtown with John for the husbands and wives Las Vegas night. Friday night, all the family went to supper at the Indian Guides campout. Very nice. Pamela has her brownie, ballet, art, and tennis lessons now. Mark has his Little League baseball games, Gray, Y, and Indian Guides. We went to a lovely dinner Saturday at the Whiteses. They had a doctor from Newfoundland, Canada there, among others. Sunday we had 3 teachers. Mark and Pamela's here for dinner. John had his last bird walk, and I had 17 children in Sunday school. Today one of Mark's friends and Mother had Mark and I for lunch. Pam, Patty, and Peter went to the Whiteses for lunch. We hope to have the Duffs here and children for a picnic Thursday on Memorial Day. I gave Mrs. Vogler a plant for Mr. Vogler's grave, and she seemed so pleased. We're having our minister and his wife and 2 other couples from church for dinner Saturday night. We're so happy Bud will be coming soon. If he comes on the 8th, we hope to take him down to Oberlin to see Illumination Night, all the lanterns lit on the campus. Joan is having a 40th anniversary party for John's folks on the 9th. The girls' ballet recital is on the 16th, and we're having John's folks and Mrs. Vogler for supper. The children are registered for swimming lessons this summer, and Mark will go to the Nature and Science Center classes and Little League Baseball. Pamela plans to go to dramatics this summer, and I plan to keep painting. Mark also will go to camp, a day camp for 1 week in August. Pamela decided against camp. She was afraid she might miss something at home, she said. Mark's teacher said that Mark is in the 99th percentile of the children in Rocky River, the top 1%, and Rocky River is supposed to be above average. Pamela said the other day, "There's absolutely nothing in this world I want that I don't have, except maybe to fly." If you ever see those navy flannel jackets in a size 10 or 12 like you sent when they were little, I've enjoyed them so much for the little ones. Patty wears hers to and from nursery school, and Peter looks as cute in his. They're just wonderful. Good night. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, Pamela, Patty, and Peter. 20689 Beechcliff Boulevard, Rocky River, Ohio, June 10th, 1963. Dear Mother, we received your letter today, and I'm certainly very sorry to hear about your operation. Is there anything I can do? Wish I could. The man that found DeBeckman is in the hospital with ruptured diverticulitis and thought that might be your pain. We had a lovely visit with Bud. He arrived Friday night, so we had Saturday and went to Oberlin for the illumination, and Sunday to Jones for John's folks' 40th anniversary. We enjoyed Bud's slides and movie also. I think Bud would like to sit on our porch and rock the whole time. He said there was no chance of you spending your vacation here. We had a terrific storm tonight. Came off the lake and tore a huge branch off the Diamond's tree, 15 inches in diameter, and all over their lawn. The city of Rocky River sawed it up and cleaned it away in an hour. Much wind damage, and a cabin cruiser was missing. Certainly very sorry about your operation. God bless. Love, Ruth. Now, there are two letters that Ruth enclosed with her letters to her mother, and they're both by Pamela. May 8th, 1963. Dear Grandma, thank you for the pretty charm bracelet. It is the right kind of bracelet. I just think it is beautiful. And I think the charm is beautiful, too. I hope you can come to my party June 19th. I hope Bud can come to my party to blow up balloons. I love you both, and Grandpa, too. Love, Pamela. And here's a letter Pamela wrote to her mother. Dear Mom, you're busy with the PTA, you're busy with the house, you're busy with the women's board. But happy Mother's Day, you great big mouse. Love, Pamela. Now, there are two letters to the editor from the original publication, and the first is from Tessa Delina, the former secretary of Restless Educational Center. Dear Mr. Ray, warmest greetings to you and your family. I just finished reading issue number 57, and wow, those cover photos were really captivating. Anyway, it looked like those holidays you had with your family were quite memorable and enjoyable at that. The letter dated April 18, 1963, aptly described what Ruth felt. One addendum to this particular issue struck me, and this was the prayer used at the Cleveland Area Church Federation 52nd Annual Meeting. This prayer is entitled, or rather starts with the following words. Let us give thanks unto God. For me, it had the proper timing to what our country, the Philippines, is undergoing right now, and I believe that with this prayer, it encompasses what each one of us feels, as well as it embraces all languages, races, and nations in terms of achieving common goals, and that is unity. Such a beautiful and moving prayer. Judging from the tone of Ruth's letter, she is mighty proud of all her children, Mark being in the top 1% in terms of academic achievement. Peter being a wonderful kid at 3 and the girls being so sweet. I also liked the advice of Ruth on going to bed early and not to worry about anything. For me, this seems to be a panacea to all woes and problems. Thanks once again. I enjoyed this one. Truly yours, Tessa J. Dolina, Quezon City, Philippines. And another letter to the editor from my father, John S. Ray, the husband of Ruth S. Ray. Dear Editor, SFMC 57 read and thoroughly enjoyed. The colored cover photographs are a graphic reminder of the several wonderful winter vacations which our family had at Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. What a fine-looking group. You remind me that Mark was Kensington School spelling champion when he was only in the 4th grade. Quite an accomplishment. I enjoyed reading that your mother learned how to say no as a result of being president of the JC Auxiliary. You are aware of Mark's current interest in doing a Lincoln movie, Abraham Lincoln. His interest goes back a long way. In grade 4, he memorized the Gettysburg Address and was reciting it in the 5th and 6th grade classes. Thank you. Love, Dad. John S. Ray, Cleveland, Ohio. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.